Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Money Man Champions League Final Edition, Chelsea versus Man City. Should be an exciting game. Welcome, guys. I got Ollie Keohane, Money Boy, and Shakes Rampetti in the house. And how are you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well, thanks. How you guys?
Yeah, I'm all right, guys. It's good to see you guys again.
Thanks for that, Shakes. Always good to see you. Shakes, you got it right on the Europa League final.
Yeah, 1.84 for Villarreal or draw on double chance. Yeah, I guess it was coming. For some reason, you have that feeling with regards to these finals. And another stat for people is 16 finals. Spanish teams have faced other opposition from other countries. They've won all 16.
Yeah, and I think English teams had lost 9 and now 10 in a row. So I know those games had taken place a couple of years ago or whatever, but there's those stats. They do represent some insight into what may happen. And I know that I think I had told people under 3 goals, which was right. I'd bet myself 1-0, or not a 1-0. I'd bet that Real Madrid Villarreal would have won 1-0. That almost happened, but close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, as they say. But I made a massive bet at when the first goal went in at the 29th minute for 30,000 rand at 1.25 for there to be less than 4 goals in the game, and created quite a stir on my site, being called a ludicrous bet, being called this. But the reality is, what people don't understand is, if you're willing to trade out of the market, you make that bet. So you take the bet at 1.25, but if you're only if you're only willing to lose 10,000, then you're basically making a 20,000 rand bet for a 50% return. So people shouldn't always be so quick to judge. And if you're not doing this stuff for other than shits and giggles, then you shouldn't be making a comment at all. But I appreciate the advice from the people that give it to me. Anyway, let's get on to Chelsea versus Man City. This is the 4th time they've played this year. Funny enough, Chelsea hold the edge in all competitions, 2-1, 2 victories to 1 loss. But I don't think this is going to be their 3rd victory. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so either. It's sort of is the final step in Pep's journey here. I mean, it'll be if he wins, it'll be his third Champions League title, his first one in 10 years. I think since he won it with Barca as a coach. And even though Chelsea have the edge supposedly on City, having won, they won the FA Cup semi-final, they won a league game. You don't really get the sense that you sort of get the sense City had like one eye on those games.
Yeah, especially the last game, Ollie. I think you're right, because they put out a completely different team. They didn't have Foden didn't play. You didn't have De Bruyne playing. I mean, they put out their second team basically for that last game. So I completely forget about that game in terms of form and stats. That was a Huckleberry Finn team, if you want my personal advice.
Yeah. I think for me it's got to be Pep's, man. I think as much as you want to back, say, the underdog, and Chelsea really have been the dark horse of this Champions League, and they've been brilliant under Tuchel. And you just wonder what he could have done had he been there at the start of the season. But there's also a reason that guys are favorites, and it's tough to bet against City. And not many people would have made a lot of money betting against City, this season so far across competitions. So I'm not going to be betting on a final result, but if I had to put it down a prediction, it is City to win. I think they're going to win 2-1.
Shakes, what say ye?
Yeah, so obviously it's Champions League finals. Manchester City going up against Chelsea. I think City obviously are favorites, but I must also add that Chelsea beating them twice is. I don't think people should look down on it like as if it was oh yeah, they're facing their B team or anything like that. I mean, I'm looking at the lineup that City fielded in the FA Cup, especially FA Cup, and that's the game that they lost 1-0. That's a pretty decent squad that they put there. De Bruyne played in that game. You see, Jesus played, Fernandinho played, Ruben Diaz played, Cancelo played. That's like a really pretty decent side still, and I think Chelsea will have a little bit of an advantage in the sense that they've been able to win twice. But like Oliver said, is that this is Pep's first final in the last 10 years. and he spent so much money, and he's done everything he has to sort of bring City to the final, and you sort of think like he's not gonna throw this away. I mean, surely not. I don't think he's gonna throw this away. But at the same time, we cannot write off those two victories like they were nothing necessarily, because he practically Chelsea stopped Man City from having a treble with or the quadruple with the FA Cup being knocked out.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Shakes, and I certainly, I hate to disagree with you, but I'm going to have to disagree with you. When a team like Man City, they didn't really care about the FA Cup, in my opinion, and they certainly didn't care about the game. They didn't care about the game with Chelsea when they lost. And you've got Chelsea that's backed its way into the Champions League. And you're also there seeing maybe the remnants of trying to focus on the Champions League. I just think that when you break it down, you've got Pep. This is his holy grail. Now, it's Thomas Tuchel and those guys. It'd be great if they could win the Champions League, but that would be a massive achievement. To me, Thomas Tuchel's team and Chelsea, they're hard to beat. But on the other end of the field, they're not exactly the world's best finishers. So I don't see them scoring in this game, to be honest with you. So all Man City need to do is score one goal, as far as I'm concerned.
Kev, I think I've adopted your approach, which was to eliminate. You spoke to Shakes and myself about eliminating the three options, which is a draw, win, or a loss, and look to the cards market or to a corners market. And the cards market has been some really interesting stats that have emerged prior to this final, as stats tend to before big finals. The referee for this game is Antonio Mateo Lahoz. I'm not sure if I pronounced it properly.
Yeah, from Spain.
From Spain, yeah. In 29 contests, he's averaged at 4.97 cards a game. The last 10 Champions League finals have seen an average of 4.4 cards, but that's with two finals where there were 0 cards and 1 card. So that average is a little bit distorted. It's closer to over 5. 4 out of the last 7 finals have seen 6 cards going. So for me, you can get 2-1 odds on over 4.5 cards. It's 100% of your money back on a very likely statistic. We see bookings in these sort of like high intensity clashes in finals, especially in the last minutes where guys are scrapping, they're defending, they're tired, the kind of discipline's going out the window a little bit. You also look at individual players. You've got a guy like Kevin De Bruyne has averaged 1.1 cards a game, so that's a guy giving away a card every game, one of your most sort of prolific players. I think, if history is definitely the best thing to judge by when it comes to betting on these finals, if you looked at the Europa League. And I think that over 4.5 is a really sound bet for this game.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's the bet to make. Well, that's some interesting statistical stuff that you've done, huh? I'm not so convinced on the 4.5 cards with these teams. But I'm not sure. I haven't done that sort of amount of depth. My bet is just straight Man City win 1.9 for 1,000. I just like Man City. Don't know if this game's going to be close. Don't think it's going to be high scoring. So, to me, I would look at maybe an under. What's under 3 paying? Yeah, no, it's too low. Too low. I'm going to go straight out 190. 1,000 down for 1,900 return Man City to win this soccer game. Shakes, where are you sitting on this?
Yeah, look, I think different that I actually see both teams scoring, and I'm looking at these odds on Betway. They look really good, 2.09 for both teams to score. And I also do think if City are to probably be the City that we know them to be, and no excuses, and probably the best team is going to play out, I'm also thinking of doing a handicap minus 1 to Manchester City winning, and their odds is 3.48. So if they can just win and go 3-1, I think that handicap is going to play out.
Yeah, that's not a bad bet. I think you're probably looking more like a 2-0, 3-0 though.
Even that, but I think Chelsea score for some reason.
Yeah, I know. I know you got this bugbear about Chelsea scoring. You're often right, Jake. So I'm not gonna chastise you or pick on you. You're the only one that got the tip right for people last week. So, but it'll be a fascinating game. And again, it's these are the games that tend to be a bit dull, though, aren't they? You know.
Yeah. Until someone scores, and then it's friends.
Yeah, it's.
And Shakes is just hoping Chelsea that.
I'm actually hoping for an early goal, to be honest, and I also think this also is it's a Russian roulette for I guess for an anytime goal scorer. You're not really sure who's gonna score. Is it Foden? Is it Mahrez? Is it Werner scored against Real Madrid. You're not sure is it Pulisic. So it's like you almost have to probably close your eyes and pick one, and then you're like, oh, okay, Mahrez, I'm going with him because most of the odds here for each goal scorer is actually really good. Whether if it's Gundogan 3.30, Riyad Mahrez 3.39. Phil Foden 3.46, Werner is 4.41. So anybody here is the odds are looking good if you get the anytime goal scorer right here.
Well, there you have it, folks. I think that I think you got to back City. That's where the smart money's got to go. Though they have drifted a little bit, so there's a bit of sharp money coming in for Chelsea. I suppose at 4.35 to 1, and they've beaten them twice already this year. It's not a hard sell for people looking for tremendous value. And Chelsea at that price, 4.36, they offer pretty good value. I just think that there'll be a lot of money pouring in for Man City tomorrow with the favorite backers. So I don't think tomorrow morning when you wake up that you're going to get 1.90 on Man City. So I would take that price right now. But I have been known to be wrong 28% of the time. Anyway, okay, I think we should wrap the show up there. There's not much more to say. No need to talk for the sake of talking. I wish everybody this weekend luck with whatever bet that they make, and Shakes, whatever bet you make. I always wish you the best of luck, and let's look forward to chatting next week when we break it down.
Awesome. Good luck, guys.
Okay. Good luck, lads.
All the best.
All the best, man. Cheers, man.